Joining us now to discuss Adam Mosseri's testimony today is Nicole Gill, co-founder and executive director of Accountable Tech. Nicole, great to have you here. Thanks so much for joining us. So this is going to be Mosseri's first time ever testifying before Congress. Before we dive into some of the arguments and all this, what do you kind of think he's going to be saying today?
Yeah, thanks for having me. So this is Adam Mosseri's first time testifying before Congress under oath in his 13 years with the company. So Adam Mosseri has been with Facebook for quite a long time. And like you mentioned, this is the first time he will be testifying since the release of the Facebook papers, including some pretty awful leaked documents about internal research that Facebook has done but kept hidden about the effects of Instagram on teens' mental health. And so, I expect Adam Mosseri to take the tact that any Facebook execs really take when they testify under oath, which is dodge as much as they can, filibuster, so that they don't have to answer real questions.
That's really, okay, so it's interesting because I'm in the same boat with you on this. And we have gotten a little bit of Adam Mosseri's prepared remarks that he's going to be talking about today. Reuters got a copy of it. He's basically going to call for an industry body to determine the best practices to help keep young people safe online. He's also going to talk about something that Mark Zuckerberg always says all the time he's in front of Congress, which is you guys have to update Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act because we're basically just playing by the rules here. Is that basically sort of the smart strategy here for him?
Well, as Facebook likes to pretend that they want to reform the system and that Congress needs to take action, I agree that Congress needs to take action. We have a broken system. There's no oversight of these companies, and yet they invade every aspect of our daily lives. Here's what Mark Zuckerberg isn't sharing with you. Facebook is the top spender on lobbyists in Washington. They have hundreds, if not 1,000 people who work in their government affairs team, in their PR teams, and as registered lobbyists who do exactly the opposite of what Mark calls for in public. They spend their days meeting with senators, with representatives, and trying to preserve the status quo for themselves. So again, this is a lot of talk and very little action. So I don't take much from this announcement today.
Also, coincidentally, yesterday, Instagram announced that they have a slew of changes that they're putting out, in addition to the fact that teenagers won't be able to be tagged in posts from people that they are not friends with. There's also going to be basically a take a break sort of thing that'll pop up telling them to basically take a break from Instagram. And obviously, Adam Mosseri is going to mention all of that in his testimony today. Do you think that is going to be enough to sort of quell clearly the anger that Congress is going to have, given the fact that they have all these documents from Frances Hogan revealing this stuff to the Wall Street Journal?
Yeah, I agree with you completely. This is a Band-Aid on an entire broken skeleton. These are all cosmetic fixes. And I believe if the company really wanted to make a difference and wanted to demonstrate that they are taking the research seriously, they wouldn't wait to put these announcements out the day before one of their senior executives, somebody who's been with the company for 13 years, is testifying under oath before Congress. They would roll these changes out immediately because they know that they can save lives. The other stories that came out yesterday and this morning about Instagram show that the platform is knowingly promoting drug content to minors, as well as pro-eating disorder, pro-anorexia content to minors. And so I think for every cosmetic fix that the company brings up, we learn more and more about the multitude of harms that they're inflicting on society.
Nicole, I'm so happy you brought that up because, again, the report yesterday coming out basically saying that teenagers are able to find drug dealers on Instagram and subsequently they're getting promoted content from other drug dealers in their Instagram feeds. Obviously, this is going to get mentioned today, but this was found out through the media. How is it? And then obviously Instagram came out saying, oh, they're going to make changes to make sure that this doesn't happen again. But how is it that a media company is able to sort of find this, but yet a large company like Instagram doesn't have some sort of guardrails in place to make sure that stuff like this isn't percolating on young users' Instagram feeds?
Right. That's how I felt about the changes that they rolled out yesterday. How are these changes not already been made to the platform? All of this really shows that the company itself doesn't really know what is happening. And even when they do, they choose to hide that research. They hide it from regulators, Congress, from parents. And so we really need a full congressional investigation into what Facebook and Instagram has known about the harms that they're causing, how long they have known it for, and what they've done to hide it and keep it hidden. Because as Frances Hogan's document release showed, they clearly know a lot more than they're letting on.
Yeah, the testimony is set to begin just after 2 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to have it for you here on Cheddar News when it happens. Nicole Gill, co-founder and executive director of Accountable Tech. Thank you, Nicole, so much for joining us and your perspective on all this.